For more on this story, we welcome Dafydd Townley to the program. He is a teaching fellow in U.S. politics and international security at the University of Portsmouth in the U.K. Thanks so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So we know that Elon and Trump, they have a close relationship. They seem to have a lot of respect for each other. So should we be surprised at this sort of outburst at one of Trump's signature policies?
Well, I think most commentators and onlookers at the very beginning of this relationship felt that it would inevitably come to a conclusion where one of these very strong personalities would refuse to bend. And Musk's disappointment is not so much in the actual expenditure, it's in the necessity of increasing the deficit, which for him is everything that he's been trying to do as part of DOGE. And now he's no longer inside the tent, so to speak. He's now freer to express his dissatisfaction with Trump's ambitions in terms of how he seeks to get this big, beautiful bill through Congress.
He may no longer be in the tent, as you say, but what do we know about his influence? I mean, I imagine he probably has a direct line to Donald Trump.
Oh, almost certainly. But I think that has always been through most of the time, especially with his suggestions in terms of cost cutting, has been through other people. So certainly we know that there's been a relationship between Musk and Russell Vought, who is head of the Office of Management and Budget. And the two of them have been working together in terms of coming up with where these cuts can take place. Trump's more likely to feel the effect, or at least the Republican Party will more likely to feel the effect, is if this continues, at a pace and over the next couple of months, because they benefited quite considerably from not only huge campaign funds from Musk's own personal wealth, but also the use of X as essentially a mouthpiece of Twitter during the election. So what we might see is a move away from that ardent support that has been there for the Republican Party certainly over the last 12 months. But does he still have a word with Donald Trump? Certainly, but I think there are other people that have perhaps greater influence than Musk has.
Yeah, we've heard Musk publicly state that he plans to give less money to U.S. politics going forward. Let's talk a little bit about the legacy of DOGE. I mean, we saw Elon at his sort of goodbye party in the Oval Office wearing a DOGE hat, a shirt that said DOGE Father. It's obviously something he wants to portray as his legacy as he leaves the government. But what is the status of DOGE, and do we know if it's going to be able to accomplish anything without the DOGE Father?
Well, I think first of all, DOGE as a process in terms of cost cutting will continue, but under the leadership of Russell Vought, who is really the ideological driver behind these cuts. He's a very influential part of Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, which is the blueprint for this second administration of Donald Trump. What we will probably see is continued cuts to come in place, but DOGE as an entity will probably has never officially acted as a government department. It's always been an advisor. I think Musk himself is very keen on creating some sort of permanent legacy. It to a certain extent, it justifies, I'm not saying his existence, but just certainly justifies his expenditure and his involvement in the government. And certainly I think a lot of his outrage at Trump at the moment is the fact that many of those cuts and savings that he's made over the last 5 months are effectively being neutralized by this huge spending bill that is at this moment is likely to find a lot of opposition within the Republican senators as it's being read in Congress.
And finally, I'm just wondering your opinion on what the Elon and Trump relationship and how it's progressed since Trump took office. What kind of a message it sends to, other billionaires in the United States who we saw cozy up to Trump, donate a lot of money, be involved in White House affairs. But Trump's budget bill and the tariffs and other actions haven't exactly been great for the business, for the economy and business in the U.S. So what do you make of this relationship between Trump and billionaires currently?
So I think this is a more comfortable relationship for Trump than with politicians. I think he's used to negotiating and working alongside other wealthy individuals such as himself. I think that for many, they have had a transactional relationship in which they get something for what they put in. So we've seen, for example, many of them not express their opposition to Trump, but certainly have failed to criticize Trump during the election campaign, where in the past many of them would have come out against this. The tariffs have been a big issue. They faced criticism not just from within the billionaire community, but also the wider trade industry. And what we're seeing is some real concerns about the tariffs, one of which is, of course, is Elon Musk. Musk doesn't agree with the tariffs. He thought that they were unnecessary. And actually, this is where Trump departs from Project 2025 a little in terms of across the board tariffs. So what we're seeing is potentially a Trump administration that is moving away from these sort of one-on-one relationships and Trump becoming more independent of their support as he was during the election.
Dafydd Townley from the University of Portsmouth, thank you so much for joining us on France 24 and sharing your expertise. Appreciate it.
Thank you.